got my basket almost full of asparagus, which is very exciting, and I just thought I'd talk you through how to cut asparagus. So I've got a sharp knife, and you just want to go sort of under the soil line, and you've got to be careful because I've got lots of new growth coming up all around, so you don't want to damage that, but just cut it out like so. So that is how I do it. I've got one more over there, which I don't think you can see. I'll just move you along and show you. So down just under the soil line, which you can't really see because you are too close, and then cut it like that. Welcome to this week's how-to. I thought because my asparagus is going great guns, we would do an asparagus video and I would chat through various asparagus tips and tricks that I have got for you. Look at that one, so long. So the best way to prepare your asparagus is to snap them, and I mean that is quite a lot that are snapped off, but that is kind of the woody, tougher part. I probably should have picked this piece a bit earlier, but rather than cutting, if you snap, they snap in the right place, and then you just get the tender tips. I'm sorry, Tessie's doing laps around the house. So you just snap, and they always snap in the right place, she says. They do. Like that. And then you can actually keep the ends and use them in, you know, a stock or something like that. Absolutely delicious, so they don't have to go to waste. So let's talk about different ways of cooking them. You can boil them in water, and if I do that, I make sure that I just boil them for a couple of minutes, so they're still have got a bit of bite to it and a bit of crunch. You don't want them to be kind of floppy and like slightly slimy asparagus. That is no good. So just literally pop them, you can pop them into already boiling water, literally boil them for 2 minutes. I do salt the water. That's a great way. You can cook them in the air fryer, and in the air fryer for about 8 minutes at 200. But I'm going to show you a method to cook them on the Aga. You can do them in a griddle pan as well. Works really well. But I'm going to show you a new method. But before I do that, I thought we'd actually just make some Hollandaise sauce to enjoy with them, because Hollandaise is my most favourite thing, and there is something that I personally think of Hollandaise and asparagus is just such a treat, and it's such a luxury. But if you have it at a restaurant, it's terribly expensive. If you are lucky enough to have your own asparagus, then actually it's an inexpensive delicacy, I think. So I thought we'd do that today. So for our Hollandaise, let's do that first. Hollandaise is actually really easy to make. Lots of people are scared by it, but I want to show you why it's really not scary if you follow specifically. So I've got 125 grams of butter in here. You can use salted or unsalted, and I'm just going to melt this. I don't want to burn it, so just until it's all completely melted. In this bowl here, I have got 2 egg yolks, and I've got some water in my pan. You don't want the water to be touching the bottom of your bowl. That is really important. And I'm actually just going to warm this on the Aga while I prepare this. So a tablespoon of lemon juice, as I'm holding the vinegar, that's really confusing. A tablespoon, this is actually a really big spoon, so I'm just going to do 2/3 of lemon juice in there, and a teaspoon of white wine vinegar. I can hear my butter is melting nicely. Teaspoon of white wine vinegar. A good pinch of sea salt. I always use Malden's, and some black pepper. And then I need a whisk. Whisk those together like so. and just get them ready. I'm just going to check on my butter. Still needs to melt a little bit more. Right, my butter has completely melted, so I'm going to pop this on here now and just let that warm up for a moment. I'm using a milk pan for my melted butter because it's like a jug, and I can pour it as I'm going. If you don't have a little pan like this, I suggest you put your butter into a jug and pour it. Once your butter is melted, you don't want to wait for too long before you start pouring it in. And I want to pour it in within 2 minutes. So I'm going to start pouring. And as you're pouring, you want to be whisking the whole time. So you've got to make sure that your bowl is stable on your saucepan. And you need to be very careful of that. And you just want to really slowly add in the butter, so drip by drip. Don't get carried away and throw it all in one go. Keep an eye on the time, that is 30 seconds. And just keep going. And within the 2 minutes, you want all of that butter added. If it starts to separate, you can just jiggle your jug a little bit, so the butter doesn't separate too much. So, whisking, that is 1 minute. And there you have it, a wonderful, thick, delicious hollandaise sauce that is just so good. If it's still a little bit runny after you've added in all of your butter, you can just whisk it a little bit more. Now I'm going to keep that on the back of my Aga with the bowl sitting on here. I'm actually going to pop it over here and just stir it from time to time until I've cooked my asparagus and then serve it. But you don't want to make it in advance. You want to make it and use it pretty instantly. So I'm just, that is just, oh, so good. It's one of my favourite things. So now we are going to cook our asparagus. I've just got a little pan out and I'm going to pop my asparagus into there. I've got some lemon olive oil, which I think works so well with asparagus, but you can just use regular extra virgin olive oil if you don't have lemon infused, or you can make your own lemon infused. And then I'm just going to crush a little bit of sea salt over and just give it a little shake so it's just tossed in the olive oil. Now I'm cooking mine directly on the Aga using this, which is magic liner from Lakeland cut into a circle. You can't use this on the really hot ring, but you can use it on the slightly cooler one, and just pop that directly on there. So I'm going to put my asparagus directly onto here. This is one of the joys of having an Aga, and I'm just going to cook it on here. You can put the lid down and I will leave it there for a couple of minutes and then just turn it literally after 2 minutes, and it will be delicious. I love the Aga for things like this. So they've had a couple of minutes and I'm just going to turn them and then just cook them on the other side for a couple of minutes. Make sure that they're sort of in the middle, and because the Aga lid is domed, you can put the lid down like so without risk of squashing them. When they've had a couple of minutes on that side, then just literally pop them onto a plate and serve with your hollandaise. Or if you don't like hollandaise, you could serve with just some lemon juice and some salt. Really, really delicious. And just giving that another little whisk up. You do need to be careful of your hollandaise curdling. Something to be very mindful of. So it is better to make it and serve pretty swiftly. You can keep it warm. Just put that to one side. Look, I'm going to get another plate. I cannot wait to try. I'm going to pop a dollop of my Hollandaise on there and enjoy my asparagus. You just cannot beat it. Absolutely delicious. That was so good. I couldn't wait to have a taste. I hope that that has given you the confidence to try making Hollandaise. If you don't already grow your own asparagus, I really suggest you give it a go. You have to be patient. It does take 3 years until you can harvest your first crop, but gosh, the excitement when you can is absolutely worth it. So do give it a go if you've got space. And you've seen my asparagus bed, it's not huge. You don't need a big space at all, and it doesn't need to be in a raised bed. You can just have it in a bed in the garden or kitchen garden if you've got a kitchen garden, but it is so rewarding. I will see you on Friday with a new vlog, and in the meantime I'm wishing you a really good week. And if you're new to my channel, I'd be really grateful if you would hit the subscribe button. The more the merrier. Thanks so much. Bye. This is so good. I'm just standing here munching the lot.